There are four major factions in this anti-Iran coalition that's driving this war. The first faction in this coalition, of course, are the Christian Zionists, who are trying to achieve biblical prophecy. Then you have the Zionists, who want to achieve the Greater Israel Project, which they believe is a promised land that Yahweh gave to the Israelite people as part of the covenant together. And this is made explicit in the Bible. The third faction is the global financial elite, Wall Street, City of London, because for them, if they're able to control Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, they're able to control not only the vast oil reserves of Iran, but also global trade, thus negating the BRICS project, thus negating China's Silk and Road project. Then you have the American empire, the military-industrial complex, the deep state, whatever you want to call these people. But they are first and foremost interested in maintaining American hegemony. And if they're able to control the entire Middle East, then they will be able to maintain this unipolar world. Now, when I say that these four factions are working together, you may think that they are in a dark, smoke-filled room in an underground bunker in Washington, D.C. somewhere. And that is not what's happening. In fact, it's entirely possible they don't even talk to each other. So let me give you a metaphor to explain to you how these four groups are working together. Let's just say that there's a mountain somewhere. And on this mountain, people believe that God lives on this mountain. Now, the Christian Zionists want to build a road to this mountaintop in order to be with God. Unfortunately, there are people who live on this mountain. They need to be exterminated. A war has to be fought. But it's all for the greater good because they will be able to be with God. The Zionists are involved because God and the Zionists know each other from history. And so the Christian Zionists need the Zionists involved in this project. They really see the Zionists as a ritual sacrifice in order to win favor with God. And the Christian Zionists are involved with building this road because they see the Christian Zionists as a useful tool in order to be with their true God. And so when they reach the mountaintop, then their real God will recognize their faith and kill the Christian Zionists. So it's a cynical partnership between the Christian Zionists and the Zionists. And they both need each other for now until they reach the mountaintop. Then you have the global financial elite. And these people are opportunists, they're speculators. They are first and foremost interested in generating more wealth for themselves and their clients. They themselves have no ideas. They themselves have no real vision for the world. They just want to make more money. And in the energy, in the commitment, in the faith of the Christian Zionists and the Zionists, they see an opportunity to monetize this faith. If the Christian Zionists and the Zionists are working hard to build this road to the mountaintop, then they can provide financing for this road. Also, when this road is built, they can start to collect toll booths, right? So that's why they're involved, because they see this as a money-making opportunity for them. They're only interested in making money. These people, Wall Street, City of London, they're so wealthy because all they care about is money. In fact, for the right price, they'd be perfectly willing to sell their own children. Okay? That's who these people are. Then you have the American empire. In the American empire, it's important to understand that these are first and foremost bureaucrats. They have really cushy jobs, sitting in an office somewhere, pretending to work. And they need to justify their existence. they need to explain why they have trillions of dollars in their budget. And so this Christian Zionist project to reach the mountaintop provides the justification. They can say, okay, well, you know what? If these Christian Zionists, if they're the ones who are going to go and lobby the politicians and bribe the politicians and pressure the politicians to build this road, then we'll say that we'll provide military protection in order to justify our existence. Okay, so they're trying to do as little work as possible in order to maintain their very cushy jobs, sitting somewhere in an air-conditioned office. And that's it. Now, that's the structure of their relationship with each other. They're all interested in reaching that mountaintop for different reasons. But once they reach that mountaintop, then they'll have their disagreements. And how to reach that mountaintop, they won't be aligned with. So the example here is that the Christian Zionists and the Zionists are very much interested in using ground troops to force regime change in Iran. The financiers and the empire, they're risk adverse. So they really don't want to use ground troops. They want to achieve regime change slowly, steadily, in a way that contains risk. And so there's going to be that disagreement about whether or not to use ground troops. In the end, I think the Christian Zionists and the Zionists will win out.